How's it going, everyone? Luxley in Eye of the Storm on my hunter, whose name happens to be Luxley. So the big question is, did we name the channel after the tune, or did we name the tune after the channel? Well, we named the channel after the tune. How's everybody doing? How do you like your new mounts? Do you have it yet? Do you really want to be bothered getting it? Let me know in the comments if you like your new mount. I have my new hunter mount, but I kind of recorded this before I picked it up. I'm getting very close to getting the warlock mount as well. Been playing a lot of my goblin warlock, and I gotta say that goblin racial really helps the class and gives it some mobility that warlocks generally don't have. And I'm talking about BGs, not necessarily with arena. See, that's one of the things that really bothers me about WoW, and this is a personal thing. This isn't anything to do with judging the game or PvP in general. But through my experience, when I start playing with people on a competitive level, whether it's arena or RBGs, they end up quitting the game. So if you really want to quit the game, give me your ID and we could play some arena and you'll end up quitting in a couple of weeks. I guarantee it. It happens quite a bit. And that's what's very frustrating, because when you've been through this rinse and repeat cycle, say 7 or 8 times, it really gets very frustrating. Not only to find players that are good, which isn't always that difficult, but finding players that are just dedicated to the game and you know that they're going to show up on any given day. Because let's face facts here, you could be this total killer, this total kick-ass guy in PvP, but the reality is, if you're not showing up on a regular basis, that's hurting the team in general. And this is very much a team-oriented sport, so I just have a personal preference of just not relying on other players for different abilities. And Arena is all about that, relying on other players to have your back, to cover you. If you lack some speed boost, you get somebody in your group that has speed boost, or you have somebody that can get you out of trouble, get you out of snares, get you out of roots, that sort of thing. And I understand that that's what the game is centered around, but I strongly prefer just being very self-reliant. That's why I don't have any pocket healers. I generally, when I record these, occasionally if there's people that I'm doing a BG with, I'll mention it. But otherwise, if I don't mention it, then I'm doing it solo, which is generally what I usually do. I would love to see what I could do if I had 1 pocket healer or even 2 pocket healers, and just go to town with that, because it's not the fact that you know that you're going. First of all, you can take more risks if you do something like that. If you have 2 pocket healers or even just 1 pocket healer, you can put yourself in more riskier situations. And second of all, you're in a situation where, how should I put this? I guess you just kind of only have to focus on one aspect, one less aspect of the game you're focusing on. You're not as concerned about your health. That's delegated to somebody else. And there's a lot of delegation going on in WoW, and that's okay. I have no problem with that, except for the fact that people quit this game. And I'm not saying, and sometimes it's the fact that they quit because of personal reasons, or they quit because they're just bored, or they find something else they're excited with, another game, whether it's an RPG, another MMO. It happens. That's reality. But when it's Blizzard's fault that, something that they did, whether they're gating content, whether PvP is very unbalanced, that's when it becomes highly frustrating. So I tend to roll solo, like I said, because I don't. What are your thoughts? I mean, if your friends just stopped playing WoW, would you still be playing WoW? If the people that you might do arena with or BGs with, or your guild suddenly broke up, would you still be playing WoW? I mean, it's a very interesting question, and I think it really kind of shows what type of player you are. And mind you, there's no right or wrong here. There really isn't. There's no right or wrong. Obviously, if you're in a position where you can delegate certain things to other players and trust yourself and trust that other player in a team environment, it's certainly going to go a long way for you. It's going to go a lot further than what I've been doing solo. But when you've been through the rigor mortis of and the rinse and repeat of meeting people and playing with them consistently, and then having them just disappear, just poof, gone. And like I said, sometimes personal reasons, sometimes World of Warcraft reasons. Now I'm repeating myself, but you know what? That's okay. This particular Eye of the Storm, I always try to stay focused in the center, and I try to be immediate in Eye of the Storm, especially when it's two bases versus 2 bases. If the other team has, say, 3 bases, then I might pull out of mid because it's not quite as important. But when it's 2-2 and it's definitely a flag-oriented type of game, because of my AoE, I will stay mid. I have very, very strong AoE as an MM hunter. And I also have my knockback, which I got into this a little late, so I wasn't able to spec out of it, so I don't have my knockback, which is almost like Tarzan without his loincloth in some ways, which really isn't a good thing. I wonder if anybody knows who Tarzan is. God, Tarzan's been around for over 100 years almost. Actually, he probably has. Johnny Weissmuller, 1930s, not that I was alive or anything. I don't even think my dad was alive, but the point is, I don't know. Raise your hand if you guys know who Tarzan is. So we're in a good situation here. We have now we have 2 bases. They have 1 base, and we have the flag. We're up by about 300 points, thereabouts. And this is what I do. I just generally try to be immediate here. That's essentially what I do, just because of my AoE. Like I said, very, very strong AoE. Also, I would have taken Sentinel for something like this because you can have a very, very strong area of effect with it, or AoE with it, just simply put. But like I said, I got into this a little bit late, and I wasn't able to make those changes. But we're in a good Greater Pyroblast. It's like, I'm like, oh, if I only had an interrupt. That's... See, I really was... One thing I've noticed... Let me try to speak English. One thing that I've noticed that's been going on quite a bit in WoW, especially with this particular X-Pack and Legion, is that Blizzard's been very, very proactive, or I wouldn't say proactive, but more reactive in a sense. But they've been very, very quick to hit the nerf bat with a lot of classes. And that's why I kind of did a full circle going back to Hunter, going back to Shadow Priest, 2 of my favorite classes. Just simply because I've noticed that every other class in the game feels like something's missing. And that's the casualties of ability pruning. And I have a few ideas of how that could be fixed. Just like I have a few ideas of how PvP should be fixed. But I'm going to be very honest and very real here. Why should I put out free ideas to Blizzard? Blizzard is a multi-billion-dollar company. And I am not confident enough, I am not arrogant enough to believe that Blizzard actually watches my videos, or anyone there watches my videos. Matter of fact, I don't even think anybody who knows anybody at Blizzard, who knows somebody that could possibly be at Blizzard, ever watches my videos. But I don't want to put it out there. If you do something well, or if you have a really good idea, why should you do it for free? And especially when Blizzard's making money hand over fist, I'm certainly not going to be putting things out there for free. Is it for the good of the community? It is. But this is almost, to me, it's almost like the mentality of Bill Gates getting upset that he didn't win the lottery. You know, does Bill Gates buy lottery tickets? Does he play lotto? I seriously doubt he doesn't. My point is, I'm not about having the rich get richer. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. I have some really, really good ideas about how to fix things. Maybe I'll change my mind. I don't know. But, you know, and it's that mechanic engineer kind of thing. Now, Blizzard, being game developers, are kind of engineers. They know the programming, they know what will work, what will not work, they know how to make things work. But mechanics are people that get their hands dirty. They're people that kind of get into the trenches and figure out how things work. They don't have an engineering degree, but a lot of times they can fix something that an engineer can't. And that's what I kind of see myself as, having played the game for quite some time and having a very, very analytical mind. And when I look at things, I don't look at, okay, what's just fun for the player. I don't look at, okay, what's just profitable for Blizzard. And I don't look at what does the game need to do. I look at things in a deal mentality, which is everybody wins. What's fun for the player, what's profitable for Blizzard, and thirdly, what's good for the longevity of the game. That's why I get very, very aggravated when I feel that PvP could be so much better and they could really, really accelerate themselves and put themselves on rocket boost towards esports if they made a few very simple, doable changes. And that's why I get very, very aggravated when they gate content. I get very, very aggravated when the patches that they deliver are like selfie stuff or dance hall stuff or something stupid like that just really just doesn't add a lot of flavor to the game. It's just basically bubblegum. It's not a snack, it's not a meal, it's just something to chew on, and then you realize, gee, why am I wasting my time? Those are just my thoughts. What are your thoughts? I'd like to know. Leave them in the comments. Also, let me know if you like your new mount. what mount you think is the best, what mount you think is the most creative. My thoughts are the best mount. I like the Hunter mount the most, although I find it very, very difficult to find a transmog that goes with it. But Hunter mount, thumbs up from me. I think the most creative and also a very, very close second is the Shaman mount. Initially, I probably put the Shaman mount ahead of the Hunter mount for its creativity. Very, very unique mount. Nothing like it in the game. And I'll definitely be getting a Shaman mount. Matter of fact, I've been playing my Horde Elemental Shaman and actually not doing so bad, because that's the reflection of teamwork. I've just noticed that what's going on in PvP right now, there's a lot of pre-mades. And I'm not talking 2, 3, 4, 5-man pre-mades. I'm talking north of 5 players. It's occurring on both sides. And quite frankly, guys, the Horde is better than the Alliance. They're more skilled than the Alliance at PvP. I've been playing both sides, kind of like a bi-player here. A little bit Horde, a little bit Alliance, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. And the bottom line is the Horde are better. I gotta say, guys, the Horde are better. But this is Luxley saying, whatever it is by you, morning, afternoon, or night. Guys, man, YOLO. Make it epic, make it great, and do your best. This is Luxley. Have a great one.